All right, and we are recording.
All right, welcome you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this Love Your Body Naked special. My name is Kelsey and I have one of my dearest friends, Tamara Lee Bratton, here with me. And we have both gone through our own transformations, and we're going to share some of the rituals that have been really helpful for us, for our energy and for our confidence. We're going to share some of the things that we've gone through in our own personal journey. Sometimes it's easy to see people online and think, man, she has it so easy, or she's always fit and happy, but that's not always the case. So we wanted to get real with you guys tonight, and we're going to be talking about something that we are both really, really passionate about, which is becoming body positive at any size, and how we found our happiness, what we do every single day to keep our mood and our energy high. And we're really excited about this topic because we both love health and fitness, but has also been something that's also been a struggle. For me personally, I used to be 100 pounds heavier, and we're going to share both of our transformations a little bit later. But we wanted to just introduce ourselves. So Tamara, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. So I'm Tamara, and I am a mama to two little girls. They're about 2.5 years apart in age, and they are both, one's a toddler and one's an infant. I'm married, and we live in Louisville, Kentucky. Kelsey actually lives in Alaska, so we have been working together and doing like this health journey together far across the country, and it's just been really amazing. So I'm excited to share more about our community and our journey, and about what we have learned over the last little bit that's been really helpful for us, and we hope it's helpful for you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Ready for me to go to the next?
Yes, yeah. So as Tamara said, we're still on this journey. We still have our struggles. Just the other day, I showed a video of me breaking down and crying during my workout, and I called Tamara, and she was like, "Don't worry, I did the same thing too." And so this is why we're really like talking about this stuff, so that people know that we're constantly working on ourselves. We're constantly working to pull ourselves up on this journey. So this is not us coming from a place of talking about how we have it all together and this is how it's done. We're just really going to dive into some personal stuff and how we have worked to get through it. So
yeah.
So yeah.
All right, we're excited. All right.
Fun prizes.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out how to move the slide. So bear with me, you guys. I'm not used to seeing this like this. So, all right. Okay, so we're really excited. We want you guys to stick with us to the end. We are going to be giving this away, what you see in front of you. So we've got a really cute little air plant. I love these. It's literally like the size of my hands. Oh, you guys all stop sharing my video of me. Let me stop sharing myself and Kelsey's faces. It's going here. I'm going to push the exit button. Sorry, guys. I just want to minimize this so that it takes you guys back to just what we want you to see. So sorry about that. This is what we're going to be giving away. So this is the body book as well. So we've got the body book, we've got a journal, and we've got that cute little air plant. I just want you guys to remind yourself of, being vibrant, being out in nature. And I think that's something that can be really valuable when you're just sitting at your desk and you need to just see something green and lively, or just something pretty and cute. I love little plants. So we're giving that away. The body book we're giving away, and I wanted to read this to you guys from it. In the subtitle of the book are the words, "Your amazing body." I believe just that. Your body is amazing. Right now, whatever shape you are in, your body is an amazing machine that does so many cool things. From using the air in our environment to keep your brain alive, to turning a bowl of cereal into an explosion of energy that allows you to run down the street to catch the bus. And knowing how to take care of that body is the most important information you can ever learn, ever. And I just thought that was so true. Learning to take care of our body is the most important information, and to just truly love yourself right now, whatever shape you're in. So this body book really encompasses a lot of what Kelsey and I wanted to share tonight. And then on top of that, we're going to be also giving away the journal. So it's all going to be one bundle. So stick with us, and we will share how you can win this tonight. Yeah. All right.
All right. So something we talk a lot about is goal setting and getting clear on what you really want out of life. I know when I first started, like I was 230 pounds and I kept saying my goal, I just want to be 125 pounds. I just want to be 125 pounds. Like, and it was such a far off goal that I wasn't happy, you know, and something we really want to help people with is to feel happy every single day while you're on your journey, because it's a long one. For a lot of us, it's lifelong. So we want to help people feel good every single day. So something that I had to do was stop focusing so much on a number and start focusing on asking myself, how do I want to feel? I want to feel confident. I want to feel happy. I want to feel sexy. And then write these things down, how you want to feel. And then we are going to help you clarify little things that you can do every single day by sharing what we do every single day to help us feel that way. So I used to have little stickies. Well, I still do. There's stickies all over my house, but stickies on things that I can do every single day. I know that I can exercise for 30 minutes because that puts me in a positive mindset. I know that I can drink my superfood shake every day for breakfast because that starts my body off right. I know that every Friday I want to have a date night. So I set these little goals for myself. And then once, you know, I complete them for the week, I have a little treat for myself, something Tamara knows that I love to treat myself with is a blow dry. It's something that I really enjoy. It makes me feel great, or a sports bra, something like that. So setting small goals is something that's really been helpful for me, and celebrating those mini successes along the way, whether it's just 5 pounds that you've lost or working out for 7 days, you know, get clear on what you want, and then celebrating those little wins every single week has been really helpful. Tamara, do you have anything to add? I know you have a lot of fun stickies around your house too.
Oh yeah, no. So I will definitely share that. For me, the goal setting was something that Kelsey really helped me with, actually, like to really start thinking about like those goals and like writing them down. And I like this, find triggers to remind yourself of your goal and why, just kind of like the stickies. And also for Kelsey, she had just mentioned date night. So every Friday, she actually texts me and is like, put your phone away, it's date night. And it's awesome, like, because it's like 4 o'clock her time, 8 o'clock my time, because we're, again, Louisville, Kentucky, and Alaska. And I get this text every night. And I'm like, oh, you're right. I got to put my phone away. Like, you know, my husband depends on that time with me. So she's one of my triggers to remind myself of my goal and why. And I love another trigger that one of the members of our community uses to remind herself of like what she wants to feel. And what she wants to feel is comfortable and confident when she goes to the fridge and makes a decision of what she wants to eat. And she has a sticky note that just says breathe on her fridge. And I just think that that's so powerful, you know, just stop and breathe, you know, little things like that. Little triggers. The other thing that I love for myself is I personally love affirmations and reading affirmations to myself every day. And this was something that I really didn't know much about until I started to read a little bit more and start to learn about my goals. And an affirmation is basically like this. So for me, one of my affirmations is I'm committed to being a great mom every single day by giving Braylon and Alicia an hour of me every day with no technology, just my attention to them. So I wrote that down, and I read that to myself every single day so that I remember, like, put your phone away, put your computer away, you know, don't get on any social media for a whole hour, which to some of you guys, like, that might sound like kind of crazy, but like for me, my job is in social media. And so it's like, I crave it. I love it. I also love my girls. And I need to sometimes remind myself to take that time. So basically an affirmation is I am committed to an activity, whatever that activity is, and doing it at this frequency, you know, whether that's daily, monthly, weekly, so that I can have this outcome by this date. So that's like how I set my affirmations, and I read them to myself every single day. And I recommend to people that want to get clarity on what you want in life to every month write down like 3 or 4 things that you really want to do that month, or every week do that. And just really breathe life into it, like read it every day, and really breathe life into it by reminding yourself of that, whatever trigger you need for that, whether that's, you know, a note in your phone or Post-it notes around your house.
Yeah, you really helped me with those affirmations. It was fun. I remember one time I called Tamara and she was like walking around the house saying to yourself, I'm a confident person, I'm a happy person. And I ended up writing that down on my computer, and I would read it every time I sat down to the computer. That was my little thing. You know, I'm a confident person, I'm a healthy person, I am a happy, you know, woman, I'm a great wife. All those things that sometimes the mean girl in our head can get in there and start creating a lot of chatter. Sometimes having those affirmations is really, really helpful.
Yeah. And we're definitely, we're going deep into goal setting soon in this next month with our community. So you'll learn more about that too, if you join with us. So, all right. I think we covered that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to move slides. There we go. I figured it out.
Move yourself. All right. So Tamara and I put together this little slide. These are some of the areas that we've used to really like create momentum in our life, to de-stress, to create good energy and a positive mood, because I don't always wake up in a good mood. I don't always wake up with loads of energy. In fact, I had a lot of struggles with fatigue, with hypothyroid, with my adrenal system, and breathing is one of the first things that I took for granted. I remember when my naturopath says, do you practice meditation? And I was just like, what is meditation? I sit down and I had all these, my monkey mind would go wild. And I think I really took breathing just for granted, like how much that can calm myself down. So somebody in our community actually recommended this app, and I love it. It's called Calm, and it's a meditation app, and it really helps you focus on your breathing. So you can download it for free. I actually upgraded. This is the most I think I've ever spent on an app, but it was so worth it. My husband actually said, did you know you spent $52 on an app? I'm like, yes, it's so worth it. Trust me, I it for the whole year. But really, because it will remind you to breathe, it will remind you to meditate. You can, and this is something I do in the morning and before bed. Now you can focus your meditation on self-love or energy or whatever it is that you really need to focus on. It has, different topics. So that's something that I really think is important. The other thing I really love is dancing. If you see me a lot of my workout videos, I'm usually dancing at some part during that video. If you jumped on one of our team calls, you see Tamara probably rocking around dancing, and just being goofy. If I get in an energy rut, like if I'm in the car and I'm tired, or if I'm doing my hair and I'm tired, turning on some music can all of a sudden change my energy. So, or, if you want to get into a better mental state, I just, can't recommend enough having a good playlist, or just, getting in the middle of your bathroom and dancing and laughing at yourself, just like getting that, getting some movement really does create energy. So dancing and meditation, I think, have been two of the biggest things that I can do to change my mood. Also, when we talk about active living, if I get up and exercise, which can be so freaking hard when you're tired, and especially in Alaska, it's really, really dark all throughout the winter. When you wake up first thing, it can be hard to get going. And I used to seriously hate exercising. When I was 230 pounds, I get on the treadmill and it was such a chore. But now I notice when I get up, Tamara, you get up way earlier than me. You're the bomb at this. But when I get up and do it first thing, it really I just get on and tap into a good energy, a good endorphin high. So moving your body, I can't say enough good things about that. The other thing is, when we were talking about dancing, I was telling Tamara on this call, I have a sister with Down syndrome, and it's so liberating going to her parties, because you'll see them just all dancing and just totally high on life, and they could just dance for a couple of hours. And I love to just go and tap into that energy, because when you just let your body move and you're not worried about who's watching, it's just, I don't know, there's something really liberating about it. So
I definitely agree with that. We do dance parties every weekend in our house. For some reason, Braylon doesn't like my Pandora, but she likes Neil's. We could put on the same station, but I guess because what I've clicked doesn't, I don't know. anyways, she's so funny about it. Braylon's our oldest daughter. So she likes to dance to daddy's music, not to mommy's music. So we have dance parties on the weekend, and it really does put us all in a great mood because I'll be honest, like most weekends, for some reason, the kids like must know it's the weekend and dad's staying home because they seem to like want to get up even earlier than they already do. So we need that dance to reduce some of the stress and improve our moods in the morning because Neil and I can be like, oh my gosh, it's too early, guys. But yeah, and then active living, you'll see right there, I have got my 2 little girls, and I can't recommend it enough to just move yourself, whether you have to, if you're a mom and you have to do it with your kids involved, like do it anyways. Or if you can do it, like Kelsey said, I wake up pretty early. It's been a little bit harder now that I have baby number 2 to wake up as early, but I think once she starts, well, she is sleeping pretty well right now. I can't complain. But once I start to get back into the swing of things, I normally do wake up before my kids are awake because for me, I want that time to move myself by myself. I want that for me. I want to be selfish with that time because if you're a mom, you know that like as soon as those kids wake up, especially if you're an at-home mom like I am and you stay home with them, like once they're up, like your day is gone. Like your time is gone. It is not yours anymore. Your day is your children's. So if you can have that time to yourself, like I just can't recommend it enough. And for me, I've just learned to incorporate them into it. And Braylon knows now, like when mommy's working out, like she has to like not ask mommy a million questions. If you saw in one of my videos recently, she did come to me with a dead worm and ask me, what is this? And I freaked the freak out and screamed, oh my gosh, dead worm. And then she screamed, oh my God, dead worm. And it was terrible. It was awesome, funny, and terrible all at the same time that I'm teaching her to hate bugs. But so she knows though, for the most part, to leave me alone unless she finds a dead worm, apparently. You gotta laugh at yourself.
So when I was working in an office 9 to 5, I would get super, super tired. And I kept saying to myself, I'm going to get out at lunch and take a walk. I'm going to get out at lunch, take a walk. And I don't know why I never did, but when I quit my job to work from home, I was like, that's it. When I wake up in the morning, I'm going to get outside and go for a walk and get that sunlight in my eyes. And that's part of my routine now is to get up and get the dog out for a walk, put on a good motivational podcast. If you can, you can try and do it at lunch. MWF podcast is one of Tamara and my favorites. But just getting out, getting some sunshine in your eyeballs, or, if you wake up and you're in a sad or a lonely or a tired state, try that meditation or try going for a walk or turning on some music. It can really, really help. And one more thing that Tamara reminds me that sometimes she will call me and she'll be like, oh my gosh, I have not had any sleep. I am so tired. Wait, no, I'm not tired. I have so much energy today. I feel so like you just speak positive words into yourself. And I have to do that myself too, because I suffered from fatigue for a couple of years and I think I have PTSD with it now. So I get like fearful that I'm going to be tired. And I'm like, no, I have so much energy, and just creating those affirmations, back to the affirmations again.
Yeah, it's really powerful. Yeah. So just so you guys have a summary, because I know we talked about a couple apps, Breathe. So Kelsey uses Calm, and then she upgraded. I use Omvana, OMV. I don't know how to spell it. I'd have to look at my phone, but my phone has all my notes on it, so I can't close that. So Calm or Omvana are 2 of them that we use for apps. Dancing, you've got Spotify or Pandora, of course, or you can just YouTube. And yeah, we just focus in on that. So just wanted to remind you guys those apps in case if you're like, wait, what was that one? And Kelsey, there's just something else that you just shared. I feel like that I totally should have.
Affirmations. Pandora. Put on like Teach Me How to Dougie radio station.
Yes.
Be in the best mood.
Yeah, I put on what I call dirty, skanky rap music and dance. And yes, I do it with my child. All right, we'll go to the next one. Talk about moving ourselves. All right, so here's Kelsey and her beautiful transformation she's going to share.
Oh, okay. So now we're gonna dig deep. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty stuff. As you guys can see, I started my journey at 232 pounds. That number still stays in my brain for some reason, but when I got started, I was a totally different person than I am now. I was really focused on the outside. My goal, I was an athlete, then I was in a car accident, had all these steroid injections, put on this weight in about a year. And I was just so focused on getting it off that I was just focusing on the outside. And so I finally got down to my lowest weight, which is what my goal was, to hit that 125 pounds. I just had 125 pounds in my head. So I finally hit that. You'll see the picture of me in the middle there. That was at me at my leanest. I had just ran a marathon and I was super lean, and I thought that I had finally peaked in terms of my fitness, but I just bonked. That was like, I think 2013, I was diagnosed with hypothyroid, with adrenal fatigue. I was sleeping in my car every day at lunchtime. I had acne, my hair started to fall out. So here I am at this like super thin weight where I thought that I was very, very healthy. But I was waking up at 2 a.m. I couldn't go back to sleep. I had really, really bad insomnia. And I was trying so hard to hold on to this 125-pound weight that I'd finally hit. And the harder I tried, the more it was like going away from me, the more I couldn't sleep, the more I just rebounded right back up to about like 160 pounds. And anybody who has any sort of hormone issues or endocrine problems or thyroid problems, you'll know that when stuff is out of balance, no matter what you do at that point to try and lose weight, it will not budge. And so I was like, just realized there was no longer a game of calories in and calories out. I had a lot of healing to do for my adrenals, for my hormones. And I realized when you're not feeling good, that it didn't matter what the scale said. I just wanted to be able to sleep at night. I just wanted to be able to have energy throughout the day. So I realized this is where all the internal work started to come in. I had a lot of perfectionism I needed to work on. I had a lot of guilt and stress that I was holding on to. I had a self-care practice that totally needed revamped and like put into action. So sometimes when you hit rock bottom or you're out of energy, we just keep ramping up the coffee. But what we really need to do sometimes is just say, screw it, I'm tired. I need to take a nap. I need to go for a pedicure. And so I became kind of obsessed at one point with eating super clean and gluten-free and dairy-free and coffee-free. And I was causing myself so much stress trying to be all things perfect with all those rules that I was still focusing too much on the outside and not loving myself on the inside out. So something we are very passionate about is stop, being at war with our bodies, stop being a slave to the scale. And going back to one of our first slides was focusing on how do you really want to feel? Do you just want to feel healthy and happy? And that has become part of my mission and our mission. And what we do is to helping people that, you still have your goals, and we all have these goals, but really how we want to feel is what has become most important to me. So in the last 2 years, I've started my own business with Tamara, and we've really invested ourselves into personal growth and helping other people with similar struggles through the weight loss journey, the self-love journey. And the more I stopped looking at that number and just started to practice gratitude for where I was at in life and focus on just like eating better and not less, that is where I kind of found my happy place. The scale, I don't know, it bounces around somewhere 145, 150 now, but the scale doesn't dictate how healthy I am anymore. It's really my sleep and my energy and my mood that really matters. So Tamara has had a transformation of her own as well. That's, we come from different aspects, but I think Tamara, yours has been really motivating for a lot of women to see as well.
Yeah. No, Kelsey's transformation is really beautiful. I don't want to just skip over it. It's really important to remember, just like Kelsey had talked about, if you are a perfectionist, you know, that's a mental thing. That's a mental transformation you've got to work through to know that like you are perfect just where you are. And once you can start to accept that, think of like all the amazing things that you can create and how free and empowering that will be. I can't, like, it's like, oh my gosh, it like bubbles inside of me, like how much like different I am because of, you know, joining with Kelsey with this mindset transformation even. So this is my transformation. I actually do have a weight loss transformation, but you know, I'm really focusing more on my weight gain transformation right here. So, you know, in college, I had gained my freshman 20. This picture on the far left is actually me probably at my skinniest after college during marriage. And what had basically happened is during college, I gained weight. I was always a very small, petite woman. And then I gained weight my freshman year of college when my parents were going through a divorce because I was focusing on battling my stress with carbs and alcohol. And then after I battled my stress with carbs and alcohol, I got to the point where I was, you know, I realized I had this weight that I didn't want on, and it really wasn't honestly too hard for me to lose the weight. I drop weight pretty easy. And that's something that can also be really difficult for some people. And I needed to learn how to eat properly. So in the picture on the left, that shirt says "It's fine, I ran today." And that's me at the gym after probably running, oh, I don't know, for 45 minutes and then doing a 30 or 40-minute like weightlifting workout. Like that's me there. And then the picture directly to the right of it is me at about like 28 weeks pregnant with my second. So what I had to learn was, you know, not to cope with I had to learn not to cope with alcohol and food with my stress. And then I had to learn not to use exercise only to cope with my stress, but to find a balance of really like both of them, like not alcohol to cope with stress, but like, you know, like feeding my body properly and working out in a proper way so that I don't, you know, make myself look like, I mean, honestly, that picture, I thought I looked great at the time, but I look back and I'm like, girl, you are tiny, you are wasting away. And mentally, I was just exhausted. I was so exhausted. I was so unhappy. I cried almost every day with the job that I had. And I really think that if I had worked on my personal development is what we call it, which whenever my coach talks to me about personal development, I was like, what the H-bomb is personal development? And, you know, it's basically just like mindset. It's kind of what we're talking to you guys here. It's doing, you know, journaling for yourself, reading books like, you know, the Body Book, stuff that will help your mindset is all personal development. And that's really where a lot of my journey is. It's really learning to accept and love myself and find happiness and not using alcohol to cover up happiness or a treadmill to cover up, to try to find happiness. So sorry, alcohol and a treadmill to cover up stress. And then the picture on the right is where I'm at now. So it's part of me is like, oh, don't share these pictures with people. Like I still battle this sometimes because I'm like, I'm really proud of where I'm at, but I'm also like, God, you lose weight really easy, Tamara. Like, and I do, but there are a lot of people that's their problem too. So I have to really focus on making sure I eat enough and making sure that, you know, when I'm working out, that I'm not doing too much cardio, because that for me drops my weight. I'm nursing my daughter. I want to give her enough, you know, milk. I would love to be able to nurse her for a year. And so I'm still in the journey very much of where I'm at. I don't ever look at the scale. I couldn't, like, I'm always between probably 115 to 125 pounds, but I would love to be more than that, honestly. Like I'm one of those people that I would like to not be so small. So I'm still battling all of that in my head, but personal development has really helped me a lot of times to be like, no, you're great where you're at. You're feeding yourself, you're feeding your daughter, which is just a really beautiful thing to experience. And I'm very grateful for that. And so I actually, you know, have used nutrition to help me get enough food and to fuel my body to have energy. I worked out through my whole pregnancy. This is me pregnant with my second daughter. I worked out through my whole pregnancy. I was cleared to work out at 6 weeks postpartum, and I used working out still to help me deal with stress, but now I limit it to like 30 minutes a day. And I incorporate my kids when I can. Sometimes, like I said, I like to have that me time as well, but I feel like I've just been able to find a much more healthy approach. And it's because of our community that I've been able to do that, and just like what we've, been talking about. So.
Yeah, I think it's neat. We have both had different transformations, but something we've both strived for is balance. And that's what we're both trying to find, and that we're, still on the journey to find. Sometimes that means, motivating each other to exercise. And sometimes that means trying to not over exercise as well, or overtrain. If you're coping with your stress, like I used to, by just pounding on the treadmill, and your body is just like, oh, like, you can overdo it as well. So finding balance with, nutrition and exercise is all a big part of what we're passionate about doing.
Yeah. And we don't hate the treadmill, guys. It's just not for us.
I just killed myself after I ran my first marathon. I was just like, my body was like, no more.
I did the same. I ran 2 half marathons, and my knees are I'm still making up for it. Yeah. All right. So, I love this.
I do too. Nourish yourself. So this is our team in this top photo right here. And I really love what this represents, because a lot of what we talk about is finding health at every size, and health comes in so many different shapes and sizes. It's not always about being like a one size fits all. So you'll see that we're all here. This is all a bunch of health coaches, and everybody is a little bit different. So I really, really love that. And when we talk about nourishing yourself, it's not just about food, but nourishing your soul. And that stuff that nourished my soul was the stuff that really, the good stuff that helped me feel good naked, which is, what we're all talking about here, the personal development, the taking a nap. When I realized I had adrenal fatigue, I burned out my adrenal system and my thyroid, I realized I needed to carve more time out for me, because if I didn't, I wasn't going to have anything to give to my husband or to my family. So sometimes I have to just say to my husband, hey, I need some cocoon time. And that means I just need to lights out. I'm going to be in my room just reading or taking a bath. And so I think getting back to that feeling better naked topic, so much of it isn't just about the weight loss for me. And it's about nourishing my soul with positive stuff that I'm listening to, positive stuff that I'm reading. And I think it's really easy to get caught up in, I'm too busy to take time for me. And I know, Tamara, you can talk about that, especially from a mom's perspective. But if you get anything from this today, get out your planner and schedule in some time for you to take a bath, to schedule that haircut, to get a facial, go take that yoga class you've been wanting to do, to get to just take a nap. I schedule time for me now when I'm off my phone. Tamara and I were talking about this before, that we reminded each other to take Friday nights off. Sometimes nourishing your soul can just be like unplugging, because we both work from our phones. So a lot of times we're really plugged into social media. A lot of times a lot of people are plugged into your iPad, your phone. Find some time when you can just unplug and nourish yourself with something that makes you feel restorative, so that when you get done, you feel great. Tamara and I are also both just talking about how we're a work in progress with food. We're just like little science experiments. There's no one like diet fits all. I think you and I both kind of tried a whole lot of things. And one thing we talk about a lot, when you're nourishing your soul, that's going to be like, what I eat is going to be different than what Tamara eats. And it's okay if you hear that everybody's eating keto right now and that doesn't work for you. If, counting your calories is a trigger for you and you can't count, then that's okay. Like, we help a lot of people with portioning out your meals. But we also really want people to tap into that intuitive eating. Like, what is your body craving? Tamara has been doing it more juicing, more of a, like a vegan approach and realizing now that meat is starting to bother, like isn't feeling as great. So listening to your body, and mine is always changing. Sometimes, I need more protein. Sometimes we just went on this juice and my body like can't get enough of juicing right now. So realizing that food isn't everything. And also when you are nourishing yourself, that it's okay that this works for someone else and might not work for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I really definitely emphasis on that, like finding what works for you and going at a few different approaches. Like I have tried a couple different things for my nutrition, just like Kelsey said. And I actually didn't think I would do a juice cleanse with our community. I actually was kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'll just try it a little bit. Well, I went all in and I loved it. I got more fruits and vegetables in than my body had ever had. I felt really, really amazing. It's like been 2 weeks and I'm still like kind of on this juice high. I have incorporated whole foods back into my body. But I really did realize like, I really don't like when I was about to prep meat for our family, I got really grossed out. And it was also because I watched some documentaries. So who knows how long this will last for me, to be completely honest. Would I like for it to last? Yes. I would like to, be able to be more plant-based. I'm not completely giving up meat. I do love my bacon, but I also, it also kind of did, it triggered in me. And then also the part about give yourself time, it doesn't happen overnight. Even in your fitness journey, or for me, what I call my miracle mornings, how Kelsey and I elaborated that I wake up pretty darn early, like that did not happen quickly for me. I did not used to like getting up early before I went to my job. This is before I was a mom. I did not like to get up early and do my workout. But then all of a sudden I just did it consistently. I just told myself like, this is the time that I can do it. This was before I was a mom even. So this was, pre-kids. I was like, this is when I can get up and start my day right. And so I want to get up, an hour earlier than I need to, so that I can work on my mindset and work on, and get a workout in, to make myself, really happy and have energy through the day. But it took me a good 3 months before I even enjoyed it. So don't give up on it too quickly. That's the other thing, even though like we're like, try different things. Like if it's something that you really want, don't give up on it too quickly. Give yourself time to really see if it's for you or if it's not for you. Because you never know. But if you're trying it and you're just miserable, then try something different, because you don't want that. We really want you to be happy with where you're at and to love where you're at, ending that self-hate of, oh, I'm not a morning person. Like, and that's the other thing in affirmation, like just keep telling yourself, I am a morning person. So, finding that balance of telling yourself you are, and then like making the realization, like, I am not going to be a morning person. I'm just going to, get my workout in later. Like, it's totally fine. Just because it works for me to do that doesn't mean it'll work for somebody else. So.
Yep, totally.
All right. And loving ourselves.
Such a big part of the journey. It should be like step one. This was my last step after I lost all my weight. I realized, oh wait, I need to go back and work on this inner peace. And Tamara, you should probably start talking about, giving that time to yourself, especially as a mom. I know it can be really, really hard. But I think this is just such a big piece of anybody's health journey, or, feeling good naked, is embracing yourself, flaws and all, where you've been, what you've been through is a big part of feeling confident and feeling good in your skin.
Yeah. And I think, so there's two different things that I kind of want to share here. So first of all, the mom side, a lot of moms don't give ourselves time to really be by ourselves. I think it's really important that if you are, if you're a stay-at-home mom, I think it's really important that you ask, your husband or your spouse or a good friend or a family member to take the kids for an hour for you once a week at least, and just give yourself some time to really love on yourself, do something that brings you joy. And your kids could bring you so much joy. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of times we don't even know ourselves anymore after we've had kids. We feel like they deserve all of our love, and they do, but you know what? You're actually the most important person in your life. So learning to love yourself first is more important than, giving your love away to everybody else. And then the other part about loving yourself that I kind of want to, touch on is I let myself go in college. Like I really did. I partied and I wasn't safe and I wasn't careful. And I got hurt along the way. And it took me a lot of time to really get over that and heal from that pain. But, reaching out, don't be afraid to reach out to therapy when you need it. That's another thing about loving yourself, like giving yourself like that. Don't be afraid to reach out to a close friend and share with them, what you've been going through. And even don't be afraid. Like, had I not had this community, I've been able to open up to a lot of the women in our group about what I've gone through. And it's been very, very releasing for me, to kind of realize that like I was limiting what I could do with my life because I felt like I didn't deserve it. And so I think realizing that we have those limiting beliefs that are blocking us and finding ways to, unblock that and love ourselves is really important.
Yeah, I had 3 things I was just thinking about for self-love. One of them was before I started coaching and doing what Tamara and I are doing now, I was working a 9-to-5 and I was waking up, and I remember coming home to my husband and he was like, "How was your meetings today?" And I was like, I just couldn't help but think, is this it in my life? Is this all that I have to look forward to until I'm 62 years old? And I read this really great book called Mind Over Medicine. And it was this doctor that talks about health as a whole and how important it is to love yourself, but not only just love yourself, but love your job, love what you do for play, love what you do, love what you eat, your nutrition, and how she completely quit her job, took a year off to kind of find herself. And I started to do that after I read this book. And I was like, what makes me happy? Your job is a huge part of your health. It is a huge part of your day. I mean, I spent more time with my coworkers than I do my husband. And it's like, it's a big part of your day. So I realized if you're not happy, love yourself enough to do what sets your soul on fire. And that comes to your job as well. So that was a big thing for me. I quit my job a year ago. I completely changed. I had gone to school for business. I was working in an office, and I just completely went in and told my boss, I have to quit this, and I'm going to work from home, and I want to be a health coach, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to totally wing it and go for it. And it was the best decision of my life for my health for many reasons, but mostly because, loving yourself, just setting your soul on fire is really, really important. The second thing I was thinking is, when we talk about how do you, feel better naked, how do you love yourself more? One thing I realized is, in order to love myself, I had to be myself. And I really didn't step into my full self until like the past 2 years. My husband had never even seen these before photos that I shared on my previous slide. Prior to coaching, when I showed him like this was my big weight loss thing, he was like, "Gosh, you really gotta like share that with people. That can be really, really healing." And it has been the most healing thing for me to say, okay, this is what I've been through: emotional eating, or like Tamara was talking about, coping mechanisms. And as soon as I started to share and just putting myself out there on social media and saying, this is all of me, flaws and all of that, like shame and like self-loathing and the guilt started to fall away. And I started to become a lot more confident and step into myself more as a confident woman. So being yourself and then feeling the feelings, like Tamara said, therapy can be so helpful. I'm a total fan of therapy. We work out our bodies, so why not work out our brains? And it's so cathartic in our groups to feel the feelings. A lot of people can say, oh my gosh, I woke up, I was having a totally bad body day, or like I said before, I totally got to the end of my workout and I just started to cry and I don't even know why. And so many people reached out to me after I shared that and were like, oh my gosh, thank you. I thought it was so easy for you guys. And it made me feel so much better that people are that once you start sharing your struggles, you'll find that so many people reach out and will be like, oh my gosh, me too. And that's what Tamara and I have really done with each other, and created this wellness community, which has like 300-400 people in it now. And the whole idea is feeling your feelings and just sharing what you've been through and how you're feeling, so that you know that you're not alone in this struggle. It's self-love is a hard piece of it, of anyone's journey. Feeling great naked is hard for everybody. We're all in this together. So
yeah, I definitely struggled when I had like gotten married to my husband, and like I had put myself through a lot of body shaming, and just being like naked around him. I was even just like, oh my God, like I don't want him to see me, like I'm unclean, like I just didn't, and I had to work through that and love my body, even though he loves my body, and he would, if I told him right now, woke him up and was like, hey boy, you want to get it on? He'd be like, hell yeah, I do. Because he's a man. But I can't, like, I didn't feel confident in my own skin for a really long time. Like, and I, and I can look back and I can be like sad for myself, or I can look back and say I had to go through that so that I could help some other women go through the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's see, what do we have? This is Kelsey.
That's the part where you just get to be like, hey girl, yeah, that's a roll and that's a stretch mark and what? Like,
yes.
Got it.
Got
like, how can you feel when somebody posts a picture of their stretch mark and they're like, oh my gosh, thanks, because we see everybody's highlight reel, and you see mine too, but everybody has a stretch mark or some cellulite or some blemishes. So don't worry about comparing yourself to other people. Just know that we all have flaws, and just own it, own every part of you. So, okay, so let's get to it. So Tamara and I wanted to invite you on this journey with us. We both had our own transformations, and our passion now is to help other people with theirs. This has been something that Tamara and I joined together and did 2 years ago. And now we have ran groups ever since, every single month. And if you guys are interested, we are opening up a 90-day challenge where we're going to be working on what we just talked about here. Your goals is going to be a lot of goal setting, while also, weighing what you want, finding your health and your happiness. And this really puts it into the whole package. Like I said, we both started with this 2 years ago. We fell in love with it. We met each other in one of these groups. Like Tamara said before, we live on opposite sides of the country, but we're both really, really passionate about this. And we were passionate about creating a safe space where people could go to be inspired and loved on and work on this, body positivity, work on your goals. And so we've been running these groups, and we usually run them for a month. And this has been almost 2 years that Tamara and I have been doing this. And the first time that we are doing a 90-day group. So we're like super pumped about it. We've got tons of stuff going on behind the scenes. We're like putting our whole heart into this. We have meal plans. We have like transformations. We're going to share tons of recipes. And what we were going to offer to you guys is a challenge pack that comes with, in addition to all that good stuff that we're working on behind the scenes, is workouts. So through Beachbody On Demand, you can get hundreds of different workouts that you can do every single day. It's kind of like Netflix for fitness. I love it. This is something new. You get your workouts for a whole entire year. You're going to get portion control containers. Tamara and I talked about how we eat a little bit differently, but when we started, we used these containers just to really get an idea for how much our body needed portion-wise. And it's just a starting point for you so that you can find what makes you feel good. But a lot of people aren't sure like how much, so there's portion control containers to help you know how much carbs and protein and vegetables, etc., to be eating. The other nice thing is you get a list of foods that you can put into those containers. I think the place where a lot of people get stuck is they try to take away all the things that they love. Okay, I've done this a million times, and just eat protein and vegetables. That's it. But that's not something we can do long term. So we love having a plan that allows you to still have some wine and some chocolate and some pizza. It's just about eating the right portions.
Yeah.
And Tamara even still, she goes out for her ice cream and still, still make time for treats. It's important to find that balance. The other thing you're going to have access to is Shakeology. Shakeology, we both started drinking 2 years ago. It's been a game changer for me in terms of my energy. It helped me to give up coffee, which is something I really needed to do for my adrenals. And I haven't had a sip of coffee since I started drinking Shakeology. And for me, well, both Tamara and I, nutrients are building blocks for our hormones. And before I started drinking this, I was so deficient in vitamins. I had to take a few IVs of iron, a vitamin C, vitamin B. I was super, super deficient after being on the birth control pill for years. It can eat up a lot of your nutrients. So Shakeology was something that I really kind of the reason why I got started. My health changed so much in a week that my husband ended up saying, okay, are you going to order me a bag of that? So now we go through 3 bags of it a month. It's made up of 70 different whole foods, so that your body knows exactly what to do with it. It's all whole food based. There's no artificial stuff in it. So honestly, I feel like such a difference when I run out of Shakeology. It is like I have to call up a girlfriend to bring me over some. And actually, now we have 3 bags on auto ship a month, so we don't run out. The other thing you're going to get is a coach. So whoever invited you here, reach back out to them and make sure that they have a spot available to you. But you will have us as a coach for life. We're in this together. You will get access to our accountability group that I was talking about. This is the first time ever that we are going to start this 90-day group. This is where the magic happens. This is where I wish I would have had at the start of my journey. We found friendships, support, accountability. Tamara and I have created a meal plan. We have a 3-week meal plan complete with a printable shopping list. This seems to be the hardest for most people. So there's also an app that you can use to track your portions. All of this together is on special right now for $160. And that again is all your workouts for an entire year and 30 meals. So it is a really, really bomb deal. I just upgraded to that. Well, both did, so we could have these workouts for a whole year. But this is what I invested in 2 years ago. It was the best $160 I've ever spent. And I just can't recommend it enough. And I'm very, very excited about our 90-day group because it is just going to be, there's going to be a lot of transformations taking place on the outside and the inside. And we're going to be tapping into what you really, really want to feel, how you want to look and feel. So Tamara is going to show you guys what you're going to win if you enroll by Friday.
All right. So if you enroll, just like Kelsey said, by Friday, we will do a random winner on what day is after Friday? Saturday. Kelsey knows it's like late here for me, and I'm an early bird. Like I go to bed early, so I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, my brain. But basically, this is again what you will win. So as long as you enroll with the challenge pack, just email the email at the bottom of this page. It's bbteamreach@gmail.com and title it Feel Better Naked. The first 15 people that send that to us will be entered into a drawing to win all of this. Again, that body book is just amazing. The journal it actually has prompts to help you to start journaling. If you've never journaled, don't worry. You can use the prompts, or you can just write in there whatever you want, notes for yourself, whatever it is that feels good for you. And then of course, a good little plant that just kind of reminds you to breathe, have life, flourish where you're at. And by the way, guys, I have had one of these plants for 6 months and I haven't killed it. I think it's unkillable, which is amazing.
Tamara has been addicted to this book. She's been reading it the last few days. It is amazing, but she's in love with this book. So
I am
really excited to give it away. You can take a screenshot too if you enroll, and send us a screenshot too of just the confirmation if you would like as well, and we'll get you put in that drawing for that. So
yeah, definitely send it to the email below. Send it with the title of the email, Feel Better Naked, just so I can sort through them a little bit easier. And then screenshot of your order. Yeah, definitely that. So we just want you, and this is from the body book too. Like whenever I read this, I was like, this is exactly what we want people to feel. So I'm just gonna again again read another quote from it. I want you to know yourself, your power. I want you to be the most powerful, capable, confident woman that you can be. I want you to know what it feels like to have a relationship with your body, to feel connected to you. I want you to know the true joy of living in a body that is yours and yours alone, of knowing how incredible it feels to nourish yourself with good food, to move and sweat, and to truly care for your health. Because once you possess that knowledge and are living in the body that you're meant to be in, you will find that your energy is boundless and you can see and experience the world in a way that you couldn't before.
I love that.
I do too. And it's just, yeah, like when I think about where I was 2 years ago before starting this to where I am now, like this is where I am now, to be honest, like feeling those things. And these are things that I thought were completely impossible. I felt unpowerful, incapable, unconfident. I did not feel a joy of living. And it's crazy. Just like Kelsey said, that $160 was the best investment she ever made. It was definitely the best investment I ever made too. It's not, you might've been invited to other groups with other, other coaches before in the past. You may have even tried some. And that's great. If it's worked for you, stay with your community. If it hasn't, I can just share with you, like, this community is very different. We are very focused on helping you really battle through the mindset part of this, not just like that, okay, let's lose a few pounds and be on with our life. Like, we want you to be lifers and to like learn to love your body and really, really feel how great it feels to be happier with yourself.
And a lot of the people that have been in our group have been in there for 2 years, and they've continued on with us month after month. And like Tamara said, if you look at me 2 years ago, I'm a completely different person. I would not speak up in staff meetings. I didn't even like to FaceTime people. I would be like, just text me. I was nervous to talk. I wouldn't be talking, on something like this and sharing our transformations and just opening up and be real and raw with you guys. So if you learned something, that we would love to hear from you, what helped, or if you'd like to share this video, please feel free. And if you enroll, just know that we want to know how you want to feel. We want to help you get there. We want to tap into those roadblocks. We don't want anything to be another diet plan that didn't work. We want to tap into everything that held us back or that could be holding you back. And Tamara and I are both very passionate about this. I've seen Tamara break down in tears over messages that she's gotten, or, great feedback from people in the group that has just like really made our heart and soul we just have so much invested in this because we're super passionate about helping other people feel fantastic. So yeah.
As soon as you said that, I just pulled open my phone. I keep notes from friends that have done things and that have sent me things like, basically all these messages that make me cry. I save them all in a big note. I'm like, should I read these to you?
Just read one.
Okay. All right. I'm like, which one should I read? Because they're kind of long. So let's go here. Sorry, I'm like
on the spot. This is
I know, now I feel like I'm on the spot. I love this one. So I want to thank everyone for your support and encouragement. Today we went to an indoor pool, and for the first time, I wasn't self-conscious about how I looked. And not because I've met all my goals yet, but more because of the positive energy that I am surrounded with. Hashtag women empowering women. Hashtag stronger together.
Yeah. And those hashtags give me goosebumps because that is what we're all about, empowering each other, being stronger together. And you'll see a lot of people in our group, they're like, okay, this is me finally sharing myself in a bikini for the first time like ever. And I felt great because I'm surrounded by other women that are feeling confident to do just the same thing. And it isn't because our bodies are perfect or we're size 4. It's just because we've learned to love all parts of ourselves and that we can be ourselves. So I love that. Yeah. Love it, love it, love it.
All right, guys, we won't keep you all any longer. I'm going to show Kelsey's in my faces one more time. We really, really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to be with us. And again, get with the coach that had invited you here. If you sign up, go ahead and submit your information with your screenshot of your getting your challenge pack. Share with your coach what it is that you want to accomplish, how you want to feel. Send that to this email as well so that we can get you entered in.
Yes, we're going to be sending this out on Saturday.
Yes. All right, you guys, thank you again so much, and we appreciate it. And I'm going to stop the recording.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.